なんで？最近言ってるな。なんで？ちょっと待って。何これ？なんで？どこが？ちょっと待って。Sorry, wait a second. I'm gonna try something. Well, strange. Okay, whatever. Hello. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Today is the penultimate stream of this game. Crazy. Oh my god. Guys, I can't believe it. It'll be a little bit of a longer one today. Just because of the nature of how this case works in trial. But I'm ready. I have a little hot drinky, I have a cold drinky, and I have a hydration drinky. 3 drinks. Sometimes it just do be that way. Last time we discovered that, of course, in case you didn't see the foreshadowing, Dahlia Hawthorne is of course involved in this case. She is Iris's twin sister, and those two are Pearl's older half-sisters. And all of this has been orchestrated by Morgan Fay while she was in solitary. She's determined. You gotta give her credit where credit's due, right? Yeah, I don't wanna spend too much time lingering. Let's just get into it, eh? I'm excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited, actually.
Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me what's going to happen to Mystic Maya.
I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
No. She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court.
Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit it's kind of strange. I'm gonna guess this is Goto. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Oh no! Hi! Oh my god! If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Hi! Oh my god. My voice is also some kind of crazy. Shouting a lot at work because kindergartners. Edgeworth, what's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Goto? Goto. Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. She's still trying to undo the locks, guys. Yuri is real. She's still trying to undo those locks. Crazy, right? A woman in love is not to be fucked with.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. Dude, guys. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's not straight behavior. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You are not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Hey, what the fuck? Hey, can I be so honest? What the fuck? Thanks. Pearls is like,
What do you mean by partner, Mr. Nick?
I'm gonna leave that for your Mystic Maya to explain to you, Pearls. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Stoneham. No, I mean Miss Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Exciting.
Oh, it's been a while. The court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Oh, we don't know her name, actually. That's just her her given, like, Buddhist temple name. Your Honor? What are you...
Who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers early this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted.
We gave him the cold.
Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot.
My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here.
I'm sad he couldn't be here too, because I liked his voice better. Swallowing down the rest of my hot milky. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment.
Well said, Mr. Gordo. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Gordo, please proceed with your opening statement.
Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. Coffee? The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug.
So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean?
During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make.
A confession? The defendant?
Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. Yeah, I said that right. Everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Delise Donim?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard, where I desecrated it.
Oh, what?
You're going to jail. They will probably take a plea deal, but she is still going to jail.
Order in the court. Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Huh. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? That Godo. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle. Or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Kurain tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Kurain channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey.
Huh? Oh. Why are we doing this? Okay, we good? OBS, are we good? Not again. Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya?
Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer.
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
Nuh-uh. That's ridiculous. Maya could never do such a...
The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction.
I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it wasn't self-defense?
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Shouldn't have crumpled up her testimony then, my guy.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay. Okay, before we get into this, I do want to look at our evidence again, because I've kind of forgotten. Okay, we have this. I don't think we really need this anymore, but okay. The map. Okay. Gravy. Ooh, we can still see that sigil. Okay, that's important. The picture of her. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll need that again, hopefully. Not the murder weapon. Okay. Knew this. Okay, that might be relevant as well. She was stabbed in the back. This is also conflicting with what she just said. Horrible sketch of what he saw that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Worn by Lee Stoneham. Okay. I don't think this is relevant yet. Okay. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that, on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the Inner Temple. Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the Inner Temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay.
What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. My stick Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she?
Dude, she's like 19.
I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder.
Also, why do you care if she's my girlfriend or not? Let's actually stop right there. Why do you care?
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you.
Because last time we saw Iris talking about any of that shit, Iris didn't really care about Maya, but she sure did note something on Edgeworth, so suspicious.
Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor,
Okay, blah blah blah. You were saying that the victim attacked Maya. I mean, Ms. Faye?
yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse.
What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear.
This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute.
What happened after that?
She moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Hi, Nim. How's your day?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And Elise Stoneham tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Ms. Faye?
Yes, exactly.
Alright, sounds fake, but okay. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. I never know how to say that correctly, whatever. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Are you gonna make me answer a question? I hope not. Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? I mean, where is the dagger? Would be my question. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony.
You do? But this witness is your own client.
Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that.
Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Pretty chill, I'm very sleepy. How about you? Yeah, pretty much the same. I, took a mid-morning nap and it still doesn't feel like it was enough. Okay, now, let's continue. Let's learn more. She threw her staff away?
Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon.
It's true, not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff.
Not if you don't know it. if you don't know what you're doing, I guess, but... Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff?
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, it's odd, alright.
Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this.
And then...
Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike.
Witness, are you absolutely certain?
Yes, believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something...
Maya Fey's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead.
Yes, I see.
This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's going to get blamed for this.
I only have this to say.
So you're saying Maya Fey was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Donim? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
You guys didn't see it, but I rolled my eyes to the heavens when he objected just now. Like, oh my god. I didn't say a word, but the eyes got rolled. I'm already getting into character for the next game. That's right. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get, right? It's called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godo waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt her standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. He really does just say whatever. I reread The Mysterious Disappearance of Phoenix Wright by JJ's the Dragon. I've talked about it a few times on stream, but I finally finished it, and I was like, yeah, he's the best part of that fic. He just is saying shit. And JJ's does such a good job of, like, of emulating that in their writing. Okay. I think it's this next statement. Why would she throw the staff away when it is this? Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Donim's throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with the staff is hit someone.
Nuh-uh. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise Donim really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? There's another contradiction here that I think we should maybe keep in mind too, is that there was no mention of Elise turning around, and she was stabbed from the back, so... That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought that there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that was why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Okay. I don't know exactly which piece should be used here, but probably the autopsy report. Oh, okay, we're getting into this now. Because Miss Elise Donham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. I'm gonna guess it's this. Okay.
Well, Mr. Goto,
Yeah, there's multiple, I literally wasn't even thinking about the fact that it hasn't been publicly talked about that this is Misty Fey and aka Maya's mother. Because I know they're like, oh, a mother would never kill her child. Yeah, they would. Dude, that happens all the fucking time, unfortunately. Have you never listened to true crime or like what? If you ask me, the only thing that seems strange is the angle of Mr. Trite's index finger. Trite, sticking your finger in an electrical outlet might be safer for you. Otherwise, it might get bitten off the next time you poke it in the wrong place. Ah! What? For real? I still don't think that Miss Donham would ever attack Maya. If you think about it, the relationship, it's obvious.
why don't you think it over one more time?
Okay. Crazy. Is it this then? Oh, is it the same thing? Oh my god. How do I... Oh, do I show her profile, maybe? I know what we're proving. We're proving that they're mother and daughter, but, like... I guess this. Okay, there we go. At least Donham would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donham. The cops are coming to get me for all my wrong answers. They're like, usually you don't make mistakes in fucking Ace Attorney. I'm like, okay, whatever. Her real name was Misty Fey.
Fey!
Ah! No! Not Mystic Misty Fey!
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Misty Fey is the master of the Kurain channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey.
Are you serious?
Is it really true? Mr. Wright! Was Elise Donham actually the great Mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. Presenting the wrong thing is illegal, I guess. Yeah. New law just dropped here in Canada. Presenting wrong evidence in the Ace Attorney series is illegal.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Ugh.
Order! Order in the court! Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the people battling to the death, were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe.
Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing.
Yes, what is this one little impossible thing?
You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted? But you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
You're going to ruin your health, my friend.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate into the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty.
Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing?
Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else?
Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it.
Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? This dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree.
Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct?
Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. You are silly. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. Sus.
In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately.
This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Okay. Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
No, I don't think so, because there's even more. This is my favorite Goto line, actually. Cute girls never lie. Ever.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.
The battle.
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
Wrong. Oh, Judge, you're so funny.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Sorry. Just the longest fucking yawn. It was like so powerful. Just shoved its way out of me. Iris, where were you standing? Where were you standing when you witnessed all this?
What do you mean?
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden's stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind.
Mood, yeah. Eepee.
It was dark when where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me.
So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Ms. Maya Fey do after she was struck?
What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up.
Nothing sounds especially strange yet.
What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her?
Oh my god, it's so many of my joints are popping because it was like this morning it got down to 42 Fahrenheit. And it was chilly, and since I've gotten out of bed, my shoulder, my elbow, like my wrist, all my joints have been popping like crazy. They don't hurt. It just like, I don't know. Just crackly season, I guess. You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger.
I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point, it's just silly. Yeah, she would have a different way of doing that. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. You're the one who started it. Still not allowed any apostrophes, I guess. Yeah, I'm thankful it doesn't hurt either. But you might be hearing some crackling noises during the stream. It's just my body.
Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next?
Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost?
The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who.
What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection!
We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night. And that the woman that was killed was Elise Donim. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet.
Well then, witness, please continue with our testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh?
Yes.
Wrong. Where did that dagger go?
I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see.
According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung toward the tree after the struggle. Oh, time to be real, Goto. You wanna be on my be real, hun? Get a load of this guy. Alright. I don't know why it struggled so much to take that picture.
That is the most likely explanation, yes.
After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away?
Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while. And Mystic Maya stood there not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over.
It seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone, that alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. I would say that the more impossible thing is that she was stabbed in the stomach, Phoenix, because we have actual evidence of that. We don't have actual evidence that Maya would never stab someone. Like, you know this girl, she's kind of crazy. Maya might stab someone. She shoots people in the fighting game. Right? I don't know if it's this statement or the next one, but, okay, it's the next one. My bad, my bad. Oops. Oops. Okay, hold on. Oops. Sorry. I'm losing it. Guys, I'm losing it. And then it's this one. Wrong. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. Sorry, hang on. I need to adjust my sitting position. Oh.
Oh. Oh. No.
Okay. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony.
What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? That's... oh, God. I partial bullet.
Is that all you have to say?
Hi, Karma. I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and the logical metaphors already? No, that's what makes him great, Phoenix. The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter. And now, she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach.
There certainly are some inconsistencies.
Well, Iris, how about it?
Oh, well, it's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said?
Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself.
The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light.
Light.
By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for.
Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly?
Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? Hold on, I just want to see something. Do we have a photo of the crime scene? Yeah. Oh no, that's not where she was actually murdered. Okay. No, we don't. Okay, that's too bad. Because I think those lanterns were lit. Because we commented on it, I think. When we were with Edgeworth. Or like when we were playing as Edgeworth and with Gumshoe, rather. It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. That's no good. Sonic here. Alright. Who's gonna get that voice? Who's gonna get the Sonic voice, guys? That's a good question. Maybe Walkie. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all.
Most enlightening.
Prove it! Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? No!
Order, order, order!
Wasn't that the 90s cartoons? That's like every Sonic. Well, I guess the new ones, they have him more normal. But I don't... That's not my Sonic. Sonic's never normal. Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot?
This lantern. There's something written on it.
Oh, you know what? This, okay. I take back what I said earlier. This stone lantern was not lit. The other lanterns around it. Okay. Okay. I get what he's saying now. Yeah. No! Gotta go fast. I can't do it consistently, so it's not gonna be able to be a recurring character if I do the Sonic voice for a character at all.
This lantern, there's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood.
Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood.
It says Maya upside down.
What the?
Oh, yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
Certainly looks that way.
Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about?
What do you mean, what are we all talking about?
We're talking about the message that's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. Why do I get encoding overloaded messages when I'm playing a fucking visual novel? OBS never did that before, and now it's happened a couple times. Well, how about a female Sonic voice? No, it's not Sonic. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. None of these fuckers know color theory, and that's especially shameful for Phoenix considering he was an art student before this. So that's what he means by that. Or that's what he meant by that.
In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Goto, anything further? Mr. Goto.
Okay then, let's move on. Goto is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it is
now been established that Miss Donem was killed by Maya Fey.
That's just wrong! Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Oh boy.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the crying tradition. So I removed the bloody... Oh my god, I can't read, sorry. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked.
Maybe the caffeine crash has started to happen? I don't know, with how much caffeine he takes during a day, it's likely that it would have happened sooner. Because that's just, I know from experience. I've had many terrible caffeine experiences in my life. And you shake when you have too much of it, and you shake when you're getting off it.
So you moved the body?
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Stoneham was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate.
I believe you're looking for Twist of Fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose.
I did not drink 17 cups in an afternoon. That would literally kill me so fast. I can't even drink 1 cup. I can't have caffeine. Even a little bit can really fuck me. Sucks to suck.
Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. So you waited until everything was over before making a move?
No, it's not like that.
She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Sorry, I also had curry for lunch and now I'm like belching. Trying not to do that directly into the microphone.
Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
Wish you did that more often. Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate the argument? I don't know, he doesn't do a good job of it.
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done.
So then, you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey?
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position.
Anyway, she was a very special person indeed.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself.
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh?
I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge.
It's pretty amazing you could make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge.
It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple.
I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Makes perfect sense to me, for the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? Use the snowmobile, okay. The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hasakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Hold on, I want to see that tracks photo again, because I kind of forget. Okay, never mind. That answered it. Should I ask her more details? About the snowmobile. Let's hear about more about this snowmobile ride.
Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge.
I'm sorry, witness. But now, I've got a problem. I've got a problem with your testimony.
Excuse me?
Kodo, what are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple.
Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates.
Let's recall her comments on the subject.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hasakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean.
Thought so. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say?
Order! Mr. Godo. Why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony?
Let's just say I'd like things to be neat and tidy, okay?
Well, maybe. Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it.
You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just... you'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that.
Yes, sir.
What was that all about? Why would Godo want to give me a hint?
Very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile all the way to Hasakura Temple courtyard?
Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then I...
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna do this again. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I want to ask about the tracks now. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right?
Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks.
This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hasakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
Let's say it's important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Yeah, I'm pretty sure her time of death is earlier than that. Because then... yeah, okay. I was like, I think the snow stopped at 10:50. Why is Iris being cross-examined? Because she wanted to confess that she had worked as an accomplice. Oops. Okay. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony.
But does it have something to do with the case?
All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. You. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir.
There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh?
What is going on here?
We're sharing a brain cell. We're having a moment together for the first time. If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelation. What the fuck reference is this? What are you talking about, Phoenix Wright? Huh. Well then, Mr. Trite. Perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve. Or rather, at the end of your index finger. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. So I'm just gonna say... Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? It's a Matrix reference, okay. There's only one reason I can think of. I think the weather report is what we need here. Nope. What do I know? Alright. And that's the tracks. What? What do you mean? Is it the autopsy report again? Oh, am I stupid? God damn it. I'm off my game today real bad. I'm very tired. Okay. What? Huh? What? No. Huh? Hold on. Am I crazy? Hold on. Okay. Blah blah. Okay, I don't think I pressed this anyway. Let me do it. Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you?
Yes. That's right. She probably thought the worst.
Oh, The Matrix Revolutions is the last movie in the trilogy and people hate it. Okay, interesting. Probably. More like definitely.
I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought that you were the one who murdered Miss Donham.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing.
Yeah, that's for sure. The voice won't come out. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen The Matrix. Okay. I guess this then. Okay, if it's not the weather date on this. Fucking hell, dude! Oops. What do you mean? Dude, what do you mean? Dude, what do you mean? What time did the bridge go out? Hold on. I forgot that this also is technically a contradiction, isn't it? Oh, well, not necessarily. Okay. Oh, that's so mean. You should spend time with your sister. How old is your sister, like, little? Or is she older? You don't have to give me your age. That's too much information. If she's your little sister, you should especially spend time with her. You dragged it behind you all the way across Dusky Bridge. I have nothing to refute that, right? This is the statement that's weird. In this one. You're twins? Oh my god! That's so sweet. What the heck? God, okay, I have to think it's the weather data that's the evidence. If it's this, I'm gonna be so pissed. Why? Why? Hey, game? Why? Why did we have that extra statement that was clearly a contradiction, and then we have to present to this other thing that's only kind of a contradiction? This is why I think that this isn't the best one in the trilogy. This is why I think Farewell My Turnabout is a better case. The logic is not as good in this one. That's dumb. That's not the most contradictory statement in that testimony. It's not even the second most. Shut up, Karma. I'm mad. I'm laughing, but I'm mad. That's dumb. Okay, fine. No, you are just stupid. Okay, bye. I can take a joke. You don't have to call me stupid. Sorry. This is what I meant by setting boundaries. I can take a joke, but don't call me stupid. That's really unnecessary. You claimed that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge.
He's in timeout for a few minutes. Like I said, I can take a joke, but you calling me stupid and I don't even know you. Like, if Nim calls me stupid, I'll still be a little mad, but I'm not gonna be super mad because I know Nim in real life, right? But a random person calling me stupid on the internet in my stream that I come to hang out is really not necessary. That's pushing a boundary for me. So, not banned, but getting a timeout. And if it happens again, then it will result in a ban.
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can't be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
Oh no!
Even for me, that's rude. Yeah, if it's somebody I've known a long time and somebody I've known in person for a long time, it's less, I'm like, okay, if I genuinely do something stupid, then it's warranted. Sometimes I do actual stupid things and need to be told that I'm stupid by a trusted figure. The only trusted figure in this chat right now is Nem. And then if Maddie were here, Maddie as well. Because I've known Maddie for quite a while. Even though we haven't been able to meet in person, I've known Maddie for longer than Nem. So, I wouldn't accept that. I don't let my 5-year-olds at work call each other stupid. I'm not letting a random internet stranger call me stupid. Sorry.
Order, order, order!
The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body.
Witness, even my patience has its limits.
So true, Judge.
Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Whoa, Goro's on our side. Or maybe not. He might. Never mind. He's not. Never mind. True, it's a difference between that was stupid or you're stupid. Yeah.
Me? How dare you?
Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right?
Yes, of course, but
Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donim's body. He makes a good point on both accounts.
That's right! I'm not lying!
what are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy.
Hold on. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, Trite, maybe you can explain this for the court? What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Ugh. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth.
It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation.
You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah!
All right then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You admitted that you removed the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be your final testimony? No. Never. An ace attorney? Pff, never.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge?
I think I know.
So it was just a misunderstanding. I see.
This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from a lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. The construction on that bridge is not impressive. That feels barely legal, actually, looking at that.
Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder. Again. Right. I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. Hi, Maddie! I love this line. This is good. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes.
All right, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Week's been very eventful. Hopefully in a good way. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place...
I couldn't have crossed the bridge. Naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Goto said. The body did make it across somehow.
You got your ADHD evaluation back. How did it go? If you would like to share, you don't have to if you don't want to. Hopefully it just gave you answers. But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Your girl has the ADHD brain and now everything makes sense. Congrats on getting answers. Not congrats on the ADHD, that's never fun, but congrats on getting answers. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Yes, she does. Actually, she really does. This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally, it was, Answer's such a relief. At the age of 32, I'm so happy I finally just know. It's never too late, y'all. Yeah. Congrats and condolences from a fellow ADHDer. We love to see it. Yeah, I really want to get a psych eval done. Waitlist is like years, but one day.
You see? It's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection!
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Trite. Was it raining and then you were looking out and being like, something's missing? Edgeworth. What? How do you know? At the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show us some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire.
Or are you saying that there's a way? Sorry, took that long already.
Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. No, don't apologize for the info dump. It's not an info dump. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that you feel comfortable sharing it, and like I'm also glad that you got it done. Just because it is nice to have that answer. That's exactly why I remember. I'm glad you understand me.
Mr. Wright! Don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing?
If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness.
This bridge is on fire.
After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. But how do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all of my evidence, and see where that takes me. I've got to be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. Okay. This part is so ridiculous, but I am so excited that I figured this one out when I first played this game. I figured out what this evidence was very quickly. Thanks, Larry. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility.
What?
You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous!
Who is it? Who is this witness?
I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Donham's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Maurice Donham.
Brilliant.
Highly gifted.
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. Because spirit mediums, but people think flying bodies are weird. I think you've all seen this sketch before. I just noticed in that picture of Larry, he has like aluminum cans next to him. And I'm like, brother's got Mikan and Chuhai. He's having a good night, even if he's single. Ugh, curry. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well, Wright, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Goto say that? He's trying to help. Oh my god. I love when the prosecution helps us. I'll shut up.
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by Maurice Donham is... It's not a complete contradiction. It's not a complete contradiction. Because it does show what happened, but it also isn't exactly what happened. But I don't... Must we always work in extremes? I'm gonna choose this. Okay, good. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh! Oh my god, Phoenix Wright, I love you.
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
Sorry. I decided to open my Discord notifications and, what do you have? A knife! No! It's so funny. What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air?
Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the Inner Temple yet. Ugh, I wish they had. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. There must be some way. I just know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened.
All right then, the witness will now return to her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body, so I must have gotten confused. I think it's this. I think it's this. Nope. Okay. Well, it's... I think that's the right evidence. I don't think that was the right statement. Because I know what happened. There's no way to move the body. Maybe it's this one. Fuck. Nope. Bro was just having a good time. Oh my god. Guys. Can I examine this and turn it around? Like... Maybe it was the other answer. Hold on. Was it the other answer? Oh, okay. Oh, there was new dialogue. No. Wallahi. Are you do you know Turkish? Is that what that language is? I've seen it. One of my friends on Twitter has that in their, like, profile. Hold on, I'm translating it. I actually don't know what it means. What is their profile? It's like, Wallahi, you are gay, I think is what it is. Hang on. Everybody shut up for a second. Where's their profile? Yeah, wallahi, you are gay. Is that Turkish? Sorry, I'm looking it up. Okay, it's Hausa. I don't know what... Sorry, we're going on an expedition. Hausa language. Oh, interesting. Chadic language that is spoken by the Hausa people in the northern parts of Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Benin, and Togo, the southern parts of Niger and Chad. I don't know what it means. Are you gonna tell me or are you gonna continue to be annoying?
All right then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old was okay. Alright, look carefully and think it over. Okay, it is a complete contradiction then. It's not a complete contradiction! But I get it, okay? Ace Attorney Black and White. Something is obviously funny about this sketch.
I'm no art critic, but even I can see that.
No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice Stoneham stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. Oh, I just know Yala. But what language is it? Is it Arabic? That's what I'm asking. Anyway. The sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality.
This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, trite. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? These. It's Arabic. Okay. So I was trying to figure out what language it is, because I'm like, because my friend who has it in the profile, they are not Muslim, but their family is, and then they're Turkish, but they don't live in Turkey anymore. And so I'm like, who knows? It's the only place I've ever seen it. Because I usually just see like, Ya Allah. It's this wire connected to the bridge.
The wire.
Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Okay. Oops. It's this, my friend.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge,
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
the wires are below the guard wires. So do you speak Arabic then, or is that just an internet slang that you've picked up?
Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo.
Not gonna lie, Larry's coloring is really nice, thank you.
However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. Nuh-uh. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Oh, okay, you just picked it up. Okay, that explains why my friend who has no Arabic knowledge also has it in there. In their bio. Are you saying you know the answer to that? Oh, wrong voice. Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and then finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been in at the time. Chuhai! He has fucking Chuhai! Eigo wakarimasen. Eigo wakarimasen. Aji America Jin. Eigo wakarimasen. It's alright, it's a song. By a rapper named Miyachi. Turn that shit back in the yen. Eigo mo wasurechatta. Eigo wakarimasen. Yeah. Now ponder what position Laurice must have been at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back. I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down.
Ah!
Ugh, no way. Laurice Donan witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down.
So then, this sketch should actually...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurie Stonem's sketch is like this. You? Oh.
Oh,
This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum.
ridiculous.
That wasn't the right voice. I just... Sorry. Just Goto saying bleh really got to me. It sounds like a chocobo noise. Ridiculous. Of all the things to say, a pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. Love to be in the gallery during Phoenix's trial, so true. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plant a head. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think that the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
You won't let me save? Okay, well, I think it's this. Because there's the rope. Hanging down. Just like that. It's kind of gross looking. Okay. Okay, let me look at everything else though. Now I'm paranoid. Because it's 3. Was there any... Okay, the only thing I can think of besides that is if there was a picture of that area where we noted that with Francisca, that the thing didn't have a rope around it anymore. Do we have a picture of that? Ooh, I guess it also could be this, huh? Okay, I'm gonna go with my first instinct first, and then if that's not it, it's definitely the map. Okay, Phew. Okay, Phew.
And the meaning of this is...
If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around at least Stonem's body. Yippee! There she goes. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. And if they failed, it would just go into the river, and like, who cares? Huh.
Mr. Goto? Seems that Mr. Goto was more focused on his coffee than answering my question.
Yeah, Maddie, whee! It seems that
the odds of a rope being readily...
English is hard.
It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all.
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Right. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? I have a couple of things I could say. Because there's the fact that the autopsy report says that the body fell, and then there's also this thing. I would think it's the autopsy report. And remember, we are thousands of feet in the air, partial bullet. Do you understand why you were timed out? Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple.
So then, that was the spot where the criminal?
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
A couple of things. Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Miss Elise Donem's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found.
Indeed. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found. Ah!
Precisely, Your Honor. I was gonna make a joke about my band, but I couldn't find the tombstone. Nice. Okay. While we're at this stopped point here, again, just reiterating, that's not a joke to me, calling me stupid. And if something like that happens again, like, I can take jokes, being called old timer to an extent, not excessively, but to an extent, I don't really care. Like, those kinds of things are fine. You can even say, like, oh, that was an oops, or whatever. Like, you can say I'm wrong, but insulting my person, you will get timed out, and if it happens again, it'll just be a ban. And if you're wondering about why that is, I made a community post. I just want to be stricter with boundaries, because I deserve to do that much for myself. Everyone does. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You've provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive.
I was wondering what that sound was.
Mr. Wright! Well, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Kodo?
That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma. Yeah, Karma, like, if it gets excessive, it's not a joke anymore, right? Huh? Your phone banned me, the stream is frozen. A couple of frames did drop, but it should be totally fine now. The coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffeenese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite? Yeah, and Maddie, like, I said this too, you weren't here yet, but, like, I've known you a while through, like, another channel and through the Discord, like, my friends that I've known for a significant amount of years, if they're like, you're fucking stupid, dude, in a clearly joking way, I'll still be like, hey, but I won't be as angry about it. But like, people, again, I don't know you, partial bullet, like, I don't know you, and we don't have like a rapport built up where I know that's okay and I know you don't mean that kind of thing. I don't want to even encourage the behavior. It needs to be shot down immediately, that kind of behavior, because I don't think we should be talking to each other that way. I just don't. I don't let like I said, I don't let the 5-year-olds at work say it. I don't let the 12-year-olds at work say it. I don't let my coworkers say it to each other. I'm not going to let other people in my stream say it just because you're anonymous. So, anyway.
Mr. Godo was correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. Maddie, oh, no, Maddie, I'm totally the same way, but I do have some friends who have, we have almost like a Game Grumps-esque relationship at times. Where Dan will call Aaron, you stupid bastard, but it's, like, clearly a joke. And Aaron has done something stupid. Like, I have a couple of friends that I've known a very long time that are, like, I have that rapport and I know it's a joke. Yeah, Maddie, I was like, how long have I known Maddie now? I was like, oh, damn. Oh. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then. If you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
Okay. Yeah, literally stupid bastard / affectionate. Okay. I'm trying not to second guess myself here because I know what's going on. In my defense, time doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't. You're so right. Okay. So I know what's going on here, right? It had to have been Iris on the other side. But I don't know if Phoenix has realized that yet. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna believe in Phoenix's ability to understand what's going on for once. I'm not looking. Oh! Oh, thank God. It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? Ah! But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Objection.
Right. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I haven't forgotten. But have you, Mr. Godo? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in 2 different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave me your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness. I have established how the body was moved during the burnt-out bridge. Which means it's now a fact that this occurred. Something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. I have chills. This is a good case for Halloween time, guys. Happy October.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection.
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is... There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know I have been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. Why her sprites are different from a certain point on. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is... I never thought I'd have to utter your name again. Let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Hawthorne?
Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Ms. Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
Huh. It's just your imagination, Cramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Her name is Demon. Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine.
No, the honor is all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom.
What? Order! Order! Order!
Wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of...
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of crying channeling technique flows within that body.
The crying channeling technique? Now where have I heard that?
That's right. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. Dahlia's a hot... I think also, it's like a pun on, like, Black Dahlia. I think, right? You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. The Black Dahlia. Hold on. It's a woman. Elizabeth Short, known as the Black Dahlia, was an American woman found murdered in the Leimert Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, California on January 15, 1947. Her case became highly publicized owing to the gruesome nature of the crime, which included the mutilation of her corpse, which was bisected at the waist. Short's murder has been described as one of the most brutal and culturally enduring crimes in American history, and Time magazine listed it as one of the most infamous unsolved cases in the world. Short's life and death has been the basis of numerous books, television shows, and films, both fictionalized and nonfiction. She is in an episode, never solved. And she is in an episode of, the character is in an episode of American Horror Story, in the first season, I believe. And that episode rocked. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 o'clock p.m., like, the crime done unto her was never solved. Her murder was never solved. Like, the people who we don't know what happened to her. She was just mutilated and killed in a park. However, Iris was seen before dinner time.
That means the Iris that is at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely, one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business? Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Nuh-uh, her sprites tell me differently. Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to the Hazakura main temple's hall. Whatever. Then, there they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Not ever since. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that. Yes, you can! Your boyfriend is pointing. I haven't played the Modern Ace Attorney, but I heard they stopped making puns with the character. Did they? I don't think so. Great Ace Attorney definitely has them. Trying to think. They're less puns, but more references, I guess? But there's still puns in AA6. Windy Tornado. Gale Tornado. Those are puns. They lied to you. Whoever told you, they lied. They're silly. They told a lie. Maybe they haven't played the games.
Yeah, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. Huh. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Like, the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places?
Switch places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witnesses,
Excuse me. Oh, Curry's coming.
Unless we can confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
There was one. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was, unfortunately, my boyfriend. I guess my info was wrong. I bought the first trilogy on Xbox and Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies on your iPad. Yeah, they definitely have puns. There's some that are just references, and then there's some that are puns still. But AA6 definitely has puns. Yeah, they AA5 too. Anyway.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake?
Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... How could I've... She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider this idea spirit channeling.
Ooh, I'm gonna guess that this is Dahlia.
Be quiet.
Yeah. Hi.
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne. In my current profession, permanently retired.
So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her and for myself. Oh, do I do this part today or on Sunday? Let me think. Oh, I'm gonna save regardless. This next part isn't that long, so I don't feel that it's right to take a whole day for it. Maybe I do it now. I do it now, but I am gonna get more water first. First, I'm gonna get more water. Second, I have to show you guys something so funny. Are you ready? This is me and my friend playing. I was Luigi and she was Guigi. And this shit had us crying.
Luigi, come on. Oh, please, help. Luigi.
Yeah. Anyway, there's that for you all. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get more water. Oh yeah. Bro was just waddling around. The funniest shit when she crossed right in front. They were like trying to, like a dad trying to get out of the way of the camera or the TV. Do you know what I mean? Like when your parent crosses it and you're like, "Excuse me, I'm watching," and then your parent doesn't realize that you're like playing a game or watching the TV, and they like are in the way. It had that vibe to it. It was so funny. Anyway. Alright, let's keep going. And then we'll do the third section of this on Sunday, because I don't want to do a late stream on Sunday. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I thought it... In game, exactly 3 hours and 6 minutes had passed. In stream, exactly 2 hours and 6 minutes had passed. That's crazy.
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes? How can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night.
The way they play her theme instead of the cross-examination music here is so good.
The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
That face suddenly looks very punchable. Agreed.
So that means you really are.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay?
Yes, you have a problem with that?
Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trite. If you've got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules.
Mr. Goto is correct. And by the way, that's one of my rules as well.
To kill Maya? Could it be true? No. There's the music. You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fay the master of Kurain?
She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she had lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master.
The generational trauma in the Fay family is so crazy.
Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan, huh?
You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct?
Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister, Iris?
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned.
The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
These two are easily two of the best villains of the series. I agree. Well, excuse me. Yeah, I hard agree.
How horrible.
The really horrible one was that woman. A bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Faye. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Unfortunately for her.
We don't know how old... okay, if she's 49, Morgan has to be at least 50. That means she was in her 40s when she gave birth to Pearl. That is actually like a health risk to have kids in your 40s. Nowadays it's like a little easier, but you're way more predisposition to like postpartum depression and like diabetes and all sorts of other horrible things that happen when you get pregnant, which is a nightmare.
Morgan Faye heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family.
Maya would have to die, but why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all.
It's a miracle Maya and Pearl grew up the way they did. And Mia as well. Hell hath no fury over a woman's scorn. True. That's ridiculous.
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Faye as well.
But I think, okay, another thing we have to keep in mind in regards to Morgan, she was bitter about not succeeding. If her husband had stayed with her, maybe that would have changed things. You know? How could anyone do that? You were going to kill Maya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me.
So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart.
That reminds me, I was watching a little deep dive on Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Sad shit.
If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it.
The witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night.
Sometimes I wonder what Dahlia would be like if her parents weren't like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think she would still be a bitch. I think she wouldn't be a murderer, but she would still be so mean. Just such a mean person.
But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway.
But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's our twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway,
You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead.
No, she's not.
Now the title of the master will pass on to Pearl Fey.
Are you crazy? That's absurd. Maya is she's just trapped. Trapped inside the sacred cavern. I think Dahlia was just born this way. Look at how she treats her boyfriends and sisters. 100%. Super agree. Yeah, super, super, super agree.
Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny. Don't you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people.
I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fay's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point. No
Sorry, she said stupid plan and I thought of simple plan and I was like, sick band name.
It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of.
If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya? Sorry. Doing judge voice for so long, I think, has gotten to me. I'm not doing it now, but still. All the mucus is moving around. Not gonna lie, though, I do love me some Evil Woman. I do, as well. Dahlia's not one of them. She's scary. I don't like her.
You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
So then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction.
What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead?
Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was?
How is Dahlia scary? Because she's a narcissist and narcissists are scary? Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fay.
Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I've never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end I died for myself. I thought that was obvious.
So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal.
All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think to get revenge.
Oh. Revenge? It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. I love the character because I want to study her brain, but in real life stay far away. Yeah. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. There's only one person that Dahlia would know and want to have revenge on. And that's why her profile is here. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you had the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead. And you can't take revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone.
I was sentenced to die because of that woman.
She's also a narcissist.
Mia Fey.
I somehow knew that this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel.
The overlap with narcissism and sociopathy, I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, is very big. Very large. It can be both.
Sadly.
But the thing that's scary to me is the narcissism, because it reminds me of people I know in real life.
When I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes. And I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
Then how do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on. Forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. Hollywood, yeah.
As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, it was Elise Donim who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back.
Oh, what did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and...
So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory.
I don't know.
We came full circle. The bit from the beginning came full circle.
I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops.
I don't know.
Is the bit. Because I started that bit with Maya in the first game, in like the second case, right when we meet her. Because that's the voice I give her. And then we're here with Dahlia doing that.
I don't know.
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern.
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
And how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern.
Your sister trapped you in there, bro.
Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who?
Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy. Dahlia,
Yes, I was a victim. Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
what do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck.
After that big earthquake, she showed up, all by herself.
The real Iris?
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was all right. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Thay.
Well, of course you would assume that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Misty Fey, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there.
Misty.
Maya Fey. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is?
Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother.
No way!
Order! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Ridiculous! That's nonsense.
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the secret cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River?
Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever.
Maya would never do that, though.
So, what do you have to say now, Beanie?
Uh... Oops. Sorry. That's my phone. What kind of ringtone is that? Godo here. Okay. Thanks.
Was it something important?
They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave.
Was it Maya Fey?
It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
I know, right? Partial bullet. So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
No. No!
It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Stoneham, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped into her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River.
It can't be. Right. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godo?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Wait a minute, that's a really good point. If she was on the side... Oh, she couldn't have! Godo, that's my man. She couldn't have. Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
You fucking idiot. But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again. We've got this, Phoenix. So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River?
Well, Mr. Wright, Ms. Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
Easy. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. Also, I'm just gonna say it because I haven't in a while. No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf.
Oh, ooh, you're right.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo. So you finally figured it out.
You? No!
Order! Order!
You're just playing with me. Maya Faye's body is at the bottom of Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding.
Ms. Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then?
Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Ms. Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is this very instant? Maya Fey is in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
Maya Fey is here.
You say she's here in my courtroom.
Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said, I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. Get fucked. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Come on already. I can't stand the tension.
He's so real. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Fey.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what the sweetest Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal.
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey.
Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her...
Well, Gramps, what would happen?
Could it be?
It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. To protect herself from you. Eats popcorn furiously in the gallery, for real.
To protect herself? From me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean that's when she channeled me?
All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you.
No, don't say that! that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp?
Yeah, get fucked.
Maya Fey killed herself, isn't it obvious?
No. Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Well, me, of course. Let's fucking go. Mia.
Mia Fey.
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. So it's true. It was you. Yes. You're something else.
But what? What are you doing here?
That hair. It's pearls, right? Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness.
I was stabbed by Maya Fey.
Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did.
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help, so she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do.
She did that? I can't believe it.
Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was?
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free. Free? What do you mean? It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrives. So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey. Pearls? Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Fey's, instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this.
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago. The fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond. But after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman.
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. I think we can infer that she sold that diamond to get money to change her identity. So that when she met up with Valerie, or when she met up with Terry as Valerie, that was, like, settled. That's why she was Melissa Foster, right? Because Edgeworth even said that she had, like, the paperwork or whatever. As a result, you were sentenced to death. She might have lost it. I inferred, though, that she cashed it in. It's one stupid move after another for you. But it's no longer funny.
You! Wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off of your face!
And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Even though she was right there in front of you.
You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would. And if only you hadn't gotten the spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death.
True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me.
What? What did you say?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said there was no way we could punish you. Because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on. Forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp.
You were wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now.
I'm not ready. Not ready to go.
Maya! I missed you so much, girl. Hey.
Nick. Sis.
Nap time. Woof.
Now then. I assume you are the real Iris.
Maya looks so cute with her fucking hair down, dude.
Yes, I was just rescued from the secret cavern.
I'm saying you and your twin are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godo, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, It looks like she went back to the hell she came from. He's also something she failed.
It seems that Misty Faye wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Faye, as well as the young Pearl Faye, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan.
Yes, Your Honor.
The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again.
Your Honor?
Yes, what is it?
About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now.
Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the crying channeling technique.
Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I've finally learned this one thing. Each case is different. It takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I are used to differ.
Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection.
There it is. Was waiting. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Kodo?
This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? You can understand him? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed.
Oh, his brother's the Canadian judge. They're both Canadian, actually. My headcanon is that only the younger one with the blonde, that he was raised in Canada and the other one was raised in the US. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right.
The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Donim. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over? Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way.
But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution is ready to call our final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye.
Indeed.
Is it really all right, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's all right, Madam Attorney.
Very well then. Who was this final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case.
Someone who saw the murder take place?
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? You can't. She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand.
Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Trite. I got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow managed to just squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. Are you jealous? You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself.
That's enough. This court is now in recess.
I'm angry with you, Iris. Oh my god, and it's 2:56 in the game, and it's almost 4:56 here.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. Also, that is not the correct phrase. It would be root for you or cheer you on. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister, I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hasakura Temple.
I feel like Bikini would be dead if that were the case.
I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised her that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that. Talia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly? That wounded Mia so badly. Okay, fine.
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder.
Some people? You must mean...
Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you.
Yes? What is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Donim, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple, but
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
exactly. You can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it?
Yahoo! Thump.
It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise had always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Faye. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shichishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer. Oh, I assumed it was Dahlia, but...
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see. Defendant,
Yes.
the judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers, is what that line should be. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
All right. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Something she wants to tell me. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning. Phoenix. Mia. How is Maya doing? Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case. I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Donim really was? Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew. But why? Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it. What do you mean by that? I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet? Yeah, pick me, I know! Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe, I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the inner temple, and the criminal wasn't just there by accident, which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning. And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day. Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura temple the following day. That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win. Or lose. Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see, anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. Mia's like, I told, Maya, blah, blah, blah. She's really affected by this case. Girl, aren't you? You knew your mother even longer. Maya barely knew her mom. Girl, baby girl. You were young when you died. Anyway, oh my god. Okay, we need to be done. Saturday, no stream. I have plans, so no stream. And then Sunday, we will finish this game. And then, I am going to take a break, until the next Saturday. Just because I need it. I need a break. Everyone needs a break. So, you know the drill. Oh my god, I can't even talk anymore, guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Wear a mask, please. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you when I see you. With my voice hopefully recovered.